Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and every week I take a close look at the real estate market here in the Villages. I'm going to orient you as to where the Villages is located. We are in Central Florida. The map you're looking at is showing you all active listings on the MLS as of today. Size of the circle denotes the size of the home, and the color of the circle denotes its price per square foot. That will be the case for all these maps that I show you, and you can see that it does indeed locate each home individually. The Villages is a 55 plus community. We have golf courses spread throughout, championship and executive. We have recreation, shopping, dining, and live entertainment in four town squares every night of the week. If you want to know what's happening to the real estate market here, what long term trends are, where properties are selling, where they aren't selling, this is the show for you. I'm going to break the Villages into four distinct geographic regions so you can compare between them. And a couple of things to note, the Villages has two distinct real estate marketplaces, the MLS and the VLS. The VLS is the Village's own internal marketplace. It's the only place you'll find new listings, but pre-owned homes are both on VLS and MLS. So if you're a buyer and you're only seeing VLS or you're only seeing MLS, you're only seeing about half of the properties available for sale. All of the information I'm presenting here is drawn from the MLS. The other point is that we produce this show every Monday. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. And as you look at this video, you get some sense as to the wide variety of homes available here. But it's worth noting that whether you have the least expensive home or the most expensive home, you have the same use of the amenities: golf, pickleball, recreation centers, swimming pools, etc. If you need to reach me, I can be reached either at DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to help you with any questions you have. If you're a buyer looking for a good deal, I think you'll find our data-driven approach will help you find one. And if you're a seller, I think you'll find our approach will help you justify the highest reasonable asking price. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what's happening in the Villages real estate market this week. Before we start this week's show, I'd like to take a moment to thank the veterans of this country. Veterans Day is tomorrow. Today is the 10th of November, 2025. Every country should give thanks to their veterans who stepped up when the country called them. And we certainly are grateful for the American veterans. So let's now look at the Villages real estate market. We'll start by looking at total listings. This week, they number 555. We're barely higher than the number of listings we had a year ago. And sales activity seems to be picking up. We have a lot of interesting new data to share with you this week. One of the things we look at is how long properties are staying on the market, both for current listings and for homes that closed over the previous 7 days and went pending over the previous 7 days. Give us some idea as to buyer or seller enthusiasm. Here we're looking at the median days on the market for all MLS listings. This week, the median time on the market for all MLS listings is 62 days, 2 months on the market, still the norm here. I sometimes think that people watch the show only to get this one piece of data, which is the median list price per square foot for all MLS listings. As of today, 249.26. Not the lowest we've seen, but not far from it. So let's take a more in-depth look at all listings. You can see here the entirety of the Villages and every active MLS listing as of today. The size of the circle denotes the size of the property, and the color denotes its price per square foot. Larger the circle, larger the home. Brighter the color, the more expensive per square foot. We're going to start by looking at the entirety of the Villages. I'm going to give you some idea as to how the different areas compare. You can form your own impression as to where activity is more focused and at what price points. The first area is the area that I'm describing as the north. This is everything south of 42 and north of Highway 466. This is the older part of the Villages. This week, there are 242 active listings in the north. The second area I'm referring to as the mid-north. This is everything south of 466 and north of 466A. This is probably still one of the most popular parts of the Villages because it's located so close to so many amenities. This week, 142 active listings. The third area is the Mid-South. We're getting into the newer part of the villages now. This is everything south of 466A and north of Highway 44. This week, 71 active listings. And the final area is the south. This is the newest part of the villages, and this is the direction of the village's future growth. 100 active listings as of today in the south. I can remember when the number of listings was only a fraction of the 100 active listings that we're seeing today in the south. I'm going to show you how these four areas compare both in terms of prices and when they were built. So before I show you the differences between the regions, let's take a look at the villages as a whole. 555 active listings. You can see the size ranges from smallest to largest home, least expensive to most expensive, median for size and price, and also the least expensive on a per foot basis and most expensive on a per foot basis, and the median sales price. Now let's look at how the four areas as I described them earlier compare. This is the same information I just showed you for the villages as a whole, but now I've broken it down by region. You can get some sense as to how many listings there are in each region, what the size ranges are, median size, price ranges, median price, and price per foot ranges with a median price per foot. And you can see that the least expensive area is the north at 228 median price per square foot, and the most expensive is the south with a median price of 270 a foot. But obviously you would expect that since the south has the newer homes. This graph basically shows you two things. It shows you how many homes are available for each year of construction. You can see the entirety of the villages on the right, to the north, mid-south, and south to the left. It also gives you some perspective as to what areas to look in if you're looking for a newer home or an older home to remodel. Now we'll look at what changed last week, how many homes entered the market as new listings, and how many homes left the market because they went pending. Over the last 4 weeks, it appears that three more homes have gone pending than were listed. Here we look at the actual weekly data points. You can see information going back over 3 years. You can see every week what the difference was between the number of new listings and the homes going pending. The zero line represents the same number of homes going pending as being listed. Last week, there were 12 more homes that went pending than were listed. It's been a while since we've seen such a strong differential in favor of homes going pending. Before we go any further, let me show you the location of each of the 42 homes that were newly listed over the last 7 days on the MLS system. And this map shows you the location of the 54 homes that went pending over the last 7 days. If you find this information valuable or informative, please consider liking the video or commenting on the video, or even better, subscribing to the channel. We really would appreciate it. Now let's take a closer look at the homes going pending over the last 7 days, and here we're looking at how long they were on the market. The average over the last 4 weeks for the homes going pending over the last 4 weeks is 50 days on the market. Not as high as we've seen recently, but as you can see, we are ticking higher yet again. We continue looking at the homes going pending over the last 7 days. Here we're actually looking at 4 periods of 7 days. So the last 28 days, the average is 241.30 is the median price per square foot for the MLS listings. It is interesting to note that last week the actual reading was 241.41 for the week. The previous week it was only 223.91 a foot. Here we keep looking at the homes going pending over the last 7 days, and now we're looking at what the price change was for those homes from the original asking price. 4.62% is the average of the median of the last 4 weeks reading for the price change from the original asking price. Now we'll look at the homes that closed over the last 7 days. We are averaging the prior 4 weeks together, and we're looking at how many homes are selling. On average, 35 and a half homes are closing every week for the past 4 weeks. I'm going to show you what the actual weekly numbers were coming up. Before we do that, let me show you the location of the 34 homes that closed last week on the Villages MLS system. Here we look at the time on the market for the homes closing over the last 7 days. We are averaging the last 4 weeks, and the median time on the market for homes closing has been 49 days on the market. This is the price per square foot realized for the homes closing over the last 7 days. We have averaged the median price over the last 4 weeks, as we do for our average charts. 238.81 is the average of the median prices for homes closing over the last 4 weeks. This is actual weekly sales data going back over the past 4 years. You can see 2025 in red. You can see the weeks of the year on the x-axis below and how many sales there were for each of the weeks of the year for each of the years. Red, as I said, is 2025. We are currently matching previous levels of sales activity here. This is just an average of the previous chart. You can see once again in red 2025. And after showing strong sales activity for most of the year, we are finally dipping back down to the levels of prior years. This chart is derived by dividing total listings by total number of sales over the prior 7 days. We have readings going back several years. Currently, we're at just under 16 weeks of inventory. We're still at 4 months of inventory here. So after all of that information, here's a summary. I'm going to give you a perspective on how active listings differ from homes that sold or went pending over the last 60 days. Let's start by MLS listings. You can see the 555 total active listings. You can see how many listings there are in each of these price segments. $300 to $400,000, still the most active price segment here. 212 of the currently active MLS listings are in this price range. Here we're looking at the homes closing over the last 60 days, 314 of them, 300 to 400,000, still the most active price segment for homes closing. 100 of the 314 priced between $300,000 and $400,000. Here's how it compares to homes that went pending over the last 60 days. They numbered 170, 50 of them between 3 and 400,000. But it is noteworthy looking at this data that the activity level difference between homes in the $200,000 to $300,000 range and homes in the $300,000 to $400,000 range seems to be narrowing. For those who are still with me, thank you for hanging on. We're close to showing you everything we have here, but a couple more. First, let's look at what the activity level is based on price per square foot. We can see that 225 to 250 is firmly the most active price segment now. 250 to 275, only 130 listings, but 200 to 225, also only 84 listings. Yeah, we're looking at the same breakdown, but we're looking at the homes that closed over the last 60 days, the number 314. Most active segment 225 to 250. 84 of the homes closing were in that price range, but 200 to 225 is becoming an increasingly active price segment here, almost as many homes closing in that price range. And this is the same information for the homes closing over the last 60 days, 170 of them, 34 in the 225 to 250 price segment, but 32 between 200 and 225 a foot. And finally, here's a summary of activity in the four regions. You can see how many active listings there are as of today, how many homes went pending over the prior 60 days, and how many homes closed over the prior 60 days for each of these four regions. If the number is a higher number than the previous week, it's highlighted in green. If it's a lower number, it's highlighted in red. And here we look at all MLS listings once again. We're looking at what percentage have reduced their asking price from the original asking price. 56.4% of all MLS listings as of today have reduced their asking price. And here we keep track of what the median price reduction actually is. We're holding around a 4% price reduction as the median price reduction for all MLS listings on the MLS as of today, November the 10th, 2025. If you're a buyer and you're trying to find a good deal here in the villages, or you're a seller and you're trying to maximize your return in a reasonable period of time, please reach out to me at either DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to research properties for you, answer questions about life in Central Florida or life in the villages itself. If you have any questions, once again, DavidisinFlorida.com, DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. Hope to hear from you. Take care.